All right, so we're going to continue the theme that we've been doing here with these last several videos. We've looked at planks and the fundamentals and the setup of that plank. Go back and check those videos out because the setup, the foundation of that plank is really crucial to be able to progress on that exercise. But the other exercise that we threw in there was that dead bug. We flipped over on our back, doing a lot of core stabilization. So what we're going to add today is a video on the pillar or oblique hold or dip. So you may have heard it called an oblique dip or hold, or pillar oblique hold or dip. But we're going to look at the setup of that again, just like we did with the setup of the plank, because again, that foundation, those fundamentals of setting up in that hold are really critical. And then I'll throw a couple variations at you, and then we'll build on that as we go over the next week or two. So, looking at the setup of that, one of the most critical things again is that we want that elbow in line with that shoulder, and we want that full forearm on the floor. That way, we have a good place, a good setup to push down and set that shoulder where it needs to be. Again, get a lot of complaints when we first start doing these that there's some shoulder pain. You may hear that a lot, or you may have even experienced that. Well, you're not really directly on the elbow. You want to use that whole forearm to push away from the body. Again, because if you're not getting that arm extended and stabilized, that shoulder will drive up into that glenohumeral joint, and it will cause shoulder pain. So let's get the setup, the foundation right, and then we'll add to that. So as we do it again, we want that forearm on the floor, elbow underneath the shoulder, pressing away. Just like a chest press or anything that we're pressing, we want to press away to set that shoulder where it needs to be. And so we're not compressing that rotator cuff and all those nice little structures that's up in that shoulder, that glenohumeral joint. So again, set up, look at from the side is we're going to get that forearm on the floor, and we're going to press down into the floor, pressing away. So if I were to drive up and having that shoulder real close to the ear, I'm now compressing everything up into that glenohumeral area. You got a little joint up here that those rotator cuff muscles get impinged in. So what we're going to look at is when you come up, you want to push away. So you want to separate that ear from that shoulder. You want to imagine you're pushing that floor down away from your body. So we're set up into that plank, oblique hold, pillar hold, whatever you like to call it. I'm going to turn sideways so you can get a good look at that. So there is our arm, elbows underneath the shoulder. I'm going to press down as I come up. And the other thing that we want to do is make sure that we're in that nice straight line from the ankle through the knee, through the hip. Don't rotate open and don't rotate closed. So we're nice straight line. Press that shoulder away from the ear right now. Then we drive up. So now we're into that hold. I'm pressing that floor down, holding with those obliques, internal external obliques down here, that core musculature that we're trying to incorporate here. And so we got our nice straight line. Again, don't want to be closed off or opened up. And in this position, you can hold, you can do your dips, whichever one you prefer to do. You can do a variation of each. You can do some holds, some dips when you do that. So that's the full progression. So if we need to take a step back, the setup is no different. Pressing away, knees, all you would do is you'll get into that setup, your straight line through your ankle, knee, hip, and all you're going to do is bend. That way I'm in the correct position to do that easiest progression here. The foundation, again, the starting point for that exercise. If you want to, you can bend one knee, top leg can be straight, and you can do your dips or your hold in the same position. I'm in a straight line. I'm not, again, closed off or opened up. So that sets us up in the nice position that we need to be in. So there is where we want to go with that core work again, doing exercises that aren't abs or crunches, incorporating as much abdominal work as we can with the planks and this oblique hold and that dead bug. Again, just to give you a different shot, different idea of something to do. Now, I'll show you one variation of that. If you've got to the full progression, your holds and your dips, you can add in a little hip abduction, really calls into play those glutes and hips, hip musculature on the bottom side as you use the abduction on the top side. So this is full progression, and again, don't progress to this until you're ready, but just to give you a shot here, we're up into that hold like we were before. All we're going to do is raise that top leg and down. So top leg and down. So there is our progression to a little hold with some hip work, and we're really on that bottom side. You got to really tighten those glutes to stabilize, using those obliques, internal external obliques right there for that hold, and then you're just going to drive that top leg up, not letting the hips move. If you're raising that leg and dropping that hip on the bottom side at the same time, probably means you're not ready for that exercise. Again, you can drop back, going to that top leg only, having that bottom leg to stabilize, and doing that hip abduction. Still, we're going to get that engagement, but that will take you one step back so that you're not doing that full plank and not doing that full pillar, and you're not if you're not ready for it. So try those. Work on that setup first. Again, that's the crucial point, just like we talked about in the earlier videos of the plank and the dead bug. Getting set up is the most important thing, because you don't want to try to do something that you're not ready for. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You do it correctly. That way that you're strengthening the way you need to and the muscles that you need to, not just because it looks fancy and fun. So try that, check back. We'll add some stuff next week.